Medfield TV, community shows.
Welcome to Citizen Spotlight. I'm Aditi Thatte, Executive Director at Medfield TV. Today, we are here to talk about diversity and Indian culture, particularly the state of Gujarat. And I have some special guests today with me, Krishna and Kushali Shar, who are volunteers at Medfield TV and also students at the Medfield High School. Welcome, Krishna and Kushali. Tell me a little bit about yourself to start the show off.
So as Aditi introduced me, my name is Krishna Shah and I'm a senior at Medfield High School. I was born in India, and when I was 8 years old, I moved to the US. And then also my hobbies are that I love to jog. I do track and field, and then also I love math and science.
Hi, I'm Kushali Shar, and I'm going into 9th grade. I'm really excited for that. And my favorite subject is math and science, and my favorite color is blue. And also, I was born in India.
So you both are from the state of Gujarat, and I know that Gujarat is really rich in its folk culture, art, dance, and cuisine. Tell me if you're able to keep those traditions here in the US.
Yeah, we are able to do that, and like thanks to my parents for that. But we go to this temple that celebrates all these traditions and festivals. So yeah.
Great. Same for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Same for you. There are lots of festivals I can't even list, but I can list 4 things. Like there are like Navratri, Holi, Uttarayan, which is a kite festival. And then
Diwali.
Yeah, Diwali.
It's a festival of lights.
And there are more that I can't even count.
Like look at how many. Like she can't even list all the festivals. So that means that there are so many festivals in India. And like also there's a benefit to it too. There's also a lot of people get holidays too, because there are so many festivals.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you remember when you were young that you got so many holidays that you had to go to school on Saturdays?
Yes.
Yeah. It used to be
Yes,
half day, but you had to go to school on Saturdays.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the reasons why. But so tell me, do you have a favorite festival? You can go, Kushal, you can go first.
Well, my favorite festival is Holi, and it's a festival of colors where there are like different kinds of colors. There are like red, orange, purple, and there are more. Then you put that color on people that you don't know, and at that time you can interact with them. You can talk with them. It's like strangers with strangers to you, but you can still talk to them because it's Holi. You can talk to anyone.
Okay. Yeah, like you said, it's a festival of colors, and then sometimes you do the colors just by putting it on people's faces or just kind of rubbing it a little bit in friendship, or then you have these almost guns, right?
Yeah, water guns.
Yeah.
it's
So
like color water.
Color water that you just kind of. So it's like a fun festival filled with color, and it's a great way to make friendship. And I think I've made some friends that lasted a long time. I'm still in touch with them. So it's true what you said. And how about you?
Yeah, so my favorite festival is Navratri because you get a chance to dance, and like it really keeps you in touch with your culture.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I always feel like I shouldn't forget my culture. I shouldn't forget where I came from. So so it reminds, whenever I dance, it just reminds me of my culture. So
I also like that festival.
Yeah, just because it's
Navratri
so festive.
is also originated in Gujarat.
In Gujarat, okay. So let me just tell the audience a little bit about what Navratri means. Navratri is celebrated for 9 days, and it's dedicated to 9 goddesses, and it represents 9 aspects. So it's universe, nature, consciousness, knowledge, wealth, power, abundance, happiness, and liberation. And Navratri is coming up soon, I think, right? September, October?
Yeah, around there.
It changes every time with the lunar calendar because Indian calendar is the lunar calendar.
Yes.
So it changes every year, and then we are all excited and look forward to it. So, so what do you do here?
For Navratri?
Yeah.
I just start preparing, like, you know, it's fun wearing those like traditional dresses and all of that. So when I start preparing for Navratri, like it's in the fall, but I start preparing for it in the summer.
Really?
So that's how excited I am for Navratri.
Same for you too.
I do that. I get so excited for Navratri. It's the best holiday. That's my second favorite.
Okay, yeah, that's great. You know, I'm so happy that you're able to keep the tradition and continue doing that, even though you know you haven't gone to India that long. You went there only once after you came here, I think, right? In the 8 years.
Yeah, it's been actually 6
years.
6 to 5. I mean 5 to 6. Yeah.
So you don't go back that often, but you keep the traditions here. When I was, when I came here first, it was the same thing. I wouldn't go, but right now, once the kids are grown, I go there every year. So another thing about India is the languages. It's officially there are 27 languages, and then over 150 dialects, and I'm sure it's much more than that. That's just like a loose number because each language has so many different ways that it's spoken depending on the state, depending on the region, depending on the borders.
Yeah.
So growing up in India, I still speak 6 fluent languages, and not including English. So which means I speak 7 languages fluently.
Wow. We speak 3 languages. The first one is Gujarati, which is our home language.
Okay.
The second one is Hindi, which is our national language, and the third one is obviously English.
Okay. So I think typically there are the 3 languages. There's always a regional language that you learn in school, primarily, and then you have the national language, which is Hindi, and then English as a global language.
Yeah, I think the biggest, like obstacle in my life was learning English, because when I first came here, I couldn't understand a single word that, like, my teachers were talking, and they would just talk, and nothing would, nothing would go into my mind. I actually didn't really understand the language. It was just like a foreign language to me, and it took me 2 to 3 years to really, understand and learn that language.
Yeah, must have been scary in the beginning.
It was. I remember the first day of school. On my first day of school, it was as all my friends told me that I used to speak broken English, and so it was a great experience, just learning English, because my English tutor, I had an English tutor that would teach me English, and
through the schools, or was it like private?
Yeah, it was through the school, and she actually made me say like the ABC from like the English way, because Indians speak the ABC a bit differently. They pronounce the letters
like
the alphabet.
The Z, which is Z, but Z, and yeah. And again, I think India was so influenced with the British rule before that's why most Indians have like a British accent.
Exactly.
Some of the words that they say are definitely, that's where the influence comes from.
Yeah.
You were much younger, Kushali, so how did that?
I can't remember anything.
Yeah. So I think Krishna probably had the hardest time in terms of learning.
Yeah, I just remember it was like so embarrassing, because I really couldn't, or speak the language, and so it was a bit difficult too. So.
And look at you now! Look at both of you.
Yeah.
I think for me it was, I went to an English school, like a Catholic school in India, so it made a difference. But I knew how to speak English when I came here, even though I had an accent, but I've lived here for 35 years, so it's changed some for me for sure. But there's still a trace of, definitely a trace of accent. And but I think I'm able to communicate, that people understand me.
Yeah.
So yeah. So another aspect with Gujarati food, we'll go to the next level, which is food, my favorite. You both are vegetarians.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about what your everyday food looks like. So it's not, you're not eating pasta and you're not eating breads every day. Your food is different. So what do you eat every day?
Well, our everyday food is roti, which is like bread, made out of bread,
Yeah,
basically.
so it's like a flat bread.
Yeah. And then bean soup, which is dal, rice, shak, which is vegetables mixed with spices. Basically, that's it, right?
Yeah, whenever you think of Gujarati dishes, it's all about, like, it's all about that big plate with so many
Called
different
thali?
Yeah, thali, yes. And then it's like filled with, different items. And like, as she said, there's so, but as she said, like, roti and all of that. And then also there are different, shaks.
Mm-hmm.
There are multiple shaks, actually. And then also
Those are the
khichdi.
vegetable dishes?
Yeah, like the vegetables with spices, and then also it has khichdi too.
Okay.
And so
khichdi is a
that's
mung
big
bean
part.
and rice dish.
Yeah.
That's delicious.
That's a big part of Gujarati, khichdi.
Okay. So, people wonder about how vegetarians get protein. I think Indian food has so many varieties of beans and, that we utilize that you don't miss any of the nutrients. People are concerned, when I talk to people about, how can you be a vegetarian and get all the nutrients, especially I think B12 they're concerned about. But Indian food is very balanced and you get everything.
Yeah, we usually eat something light at night, so that kind of balances.
So lunch is the
heaviest. Yeah, the heaviest. Yeah.
So when you go to school, like, do you come home and eat lunch again, or like, do you take a snack and come home, and how do you do that?
Usually I eat a light lunch sometimes, and then when I come home, that's when I eat the
big lunch.
So it's a late lunch.
Yeah, it is a late lunch. Yeah.
Okay. So we talked about the everyday foods. Now I want to talk about the festive foods. So there's always something special that's made, whether it's a sweet or a savory dish. So what does your mom or your grandmother make for festive foods?
My all-time favorite would be gulab jamun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mine is kaju katri. That's the best. I love it.
Yeah.
So then we need to explain what gulab jamun means and kaju katli means. So gulab jamun is this made with milk product,
Right.
and it's deep fried. They are these round dumplings that are deep fried and then soaked in sugary syrup with some sweet spices like cardamom.
Sugar-coated,
Yeah. So, and it's delicious, whether it's hot, chilled, or some people eat it with ice cream. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I should try that.
That's a combination. So, and kaju katli is this ground cashew sweet made also with sugar,
Right.
and they kind of look like
Diamond.
lightweight fudge. Yeah, they're diamond shaped, but they're kind of the consistency of a fudge.
Right.
So I love those foods too. So those are just a few. The variety of sweets that you get in India is just
Yeah, there's so
amazing.
many. Yeah.
Yeah, it's mouth-watering. I just can't
Yeah.
wait for the next festival. I just need an excuse to do that, to make the sweets. The next one, another thing that Gujarat is famous for is the street foods. And I absolutely love the street foods of Gujarat.
Yeah.
And I have quite a few favorite. I can't decide which one is my most favorite. I think I like them all. So tell me if you have a favorite.
I think my favorite is pani puri. Yeah.
Yeah.
Same. That's the best. I love it.
Okay. So again, we need to describe it to our audience. So do you want to say what it's made of, and then like what's in there?
It's like puffed
Bread. Yeah.
basically, and then
With
it has
tamarind.
it has tamarind and also other spices in it, and we actually have it. We actually fill it up with the
Potatoes.
potatoes. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. And it's yummy to just kind of
Yeah.
pop one in your mouth, and it's
so
like,
delicious.
yeah, it's such divine food. So do you have any favorite memories associated with any of your foods? It doesn't have to be any particular.
My uncle took me to this Indian restaurant in India, and they had actually this variety of food, and like my uncle chose like a Gujarati dish, and it was this like big dish with all these different shaks, and then also with all these different dishes, it was delicious. My God.
Yeah, I couldn't even
was
eat
shocked.
it.
I'm like, oh my God, this is so much, you know.
You probably had like little containers, like almost like
Yeah.
little cups with all these
Yeah.
vegetables and curries, and probably like a dozen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and sometimes like a big festive dish like that also has the accompaniments. You have the pickles, and then you have the papadums, which are again like deep fried flat bread, and all kinds of salads and
Oh yeah, salad,
right,
yeah.
different rice dishes too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so that's probably was called a Maharaja thali, which is like a king thali.
Yes.
So it's like a festive royal dish, round dish with
Mm-hmm.
probably silver too. That's how they used to serve back in the day.
I believe it was silver, yes.
Yeah, it
I
was
do
a
believe
big silver plate.
Yeah, yeah. I can just picture it right
yeah,
now.
I was like going back to that, you know, memory and
Yeah.
just
Yeah, that's wonderful. And then another aspect of what you do is you're really rooted and grounded in your spirituality. So tell me just a little bit about what that means to you, and what you do perhaps every day, or you know, anything else that you do to keep your spirituality intact, and the influences with that.
So before going to school, like in the morning, I go to my grandparents' room where they have this temple, and I take blessings from God, and then I take blessings from my grandparents, and then I take blessings from my parents, and then I go to school.
Every single day.
Yeah, every single
Okay.
day.
How about you, Krishna?
yeah. Then also we go to this temple on Saturdays, and so that's another way we, you know, stay in touch with our culture. And then we also go to Sunday school, which is called Swadhyay. And so Swadhyay is basically the study of self, you know, how to improve your life, how to become a better person
Have
with,
that-
you know, a positive attitude, you know, and have that, you know, can-do attitude, you know. So have that confidence, determination in yourself. So, you know,
Great.
it's like trying to like it's like an introspection. So it's very cool, yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yeah,
Is there
and-
one close by that you go to? Is it?
Yeah, it's close by.
It's in
and-
Walpole.
Okay, so
yeah,
it's right
and
away.
like the
right
founder
here.
of Swadhyay is Pandurang Shastri Athavale, he's a spiritual master. Yeah.
Great. So, you looks like you have so many different tools to keep your roots grounded and your spirituality.
Yeah.
So that's wonderful. And then I think primarily, from what I understand, is your values come from your parents and grandparents. So
yes, like the basic values do come from our parents and grandparents, you know. Like I always give my grandparents credit, because if they were not there, then I would have never even known about my culture, because my parents were so busy working that, you know, that
so
like,
your
my
grandparents live
worked.
with you.
Mhm,
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So same for you, or
Same for you.
Yeah.
So another aspect, again, we touched upon dance a little bit, but I know that that's so important to you, and you said it's a stress buster too.
Yeah.
So I know that both of you dance whenever you can.
Yeah, I love dancing.
Yeah. So when you're not studying, you're dancing,
Yeah.
and then you're doing your art.
Yeah.
So
I mean, yeah, that's true. That's true. We usually dance more in the summer because, you know.
you have time.
Yeah, because I don't have time during the school days. So
Okay.
yeah.
So we do actually have a treat. Krishna and Kushali came to the studio and did some dancing, and I think the whole family got involved. So
Yes.
everybody helped you with the choreography and dress selection, and you know, like all of it. So we have a special treat that Krishna and Kushali are going to be dancing soon. Krishna and Kushali, do you have anything else that we didn't cover here?
I actually do want to go back to, you know, the sacrifice that my parents made. You know, I want to thank them for what they did, because what I mean by sacrifice is they were living they were living a great life in India, you know, and they left everything, just for us, just for our betterment. So they moved to the U.S. For us. That's a big sacrifice. So yeah.
Right. Yeah. Thank you. I think you have wonderful parents. You're both so wonderful, and really appreciate your parents, grandparents, all their influences. And I think going forward, that's only going to help you. So it's wonderful you're fortunate to have that.
Thank you.
Again, thank you for watching another episode of Citizen Spotlight. See you next time. Good night.
ना वो अखियां रूहानी कहीं, ना वो चेहरा नूरानी कहीं, कहीं दिल वाली बातें भी ना वो सजरी जवानी कहीं। जग घूमे थारे जैसा ना कोई, जग घूमे थारे जैसा ना कोई।
झनक झनक झन,
दबक झनक दबक झनक दबक
झनक खनक खन,
झनक
झनक खनक खनक।
मेरा सोना रूप का पारा पीस हटाए मंडता, सूट मेरा लाल रंग दा, पराग मेरा जावे डंग दा, ओ मिलता हजार करके करके मुंडा मेरा दिल मंगदा। ओ सूट मेरा लाल रंग दा, पराग मेरा जावे डंग दा, ओ मिलता हजार करके करके मुंडा मेरा दिल मंगदा।
लटपट लटपट कमर दामिनी अधर रागिनी हो, लटपट लटपट कमर दामिनी अधर रागिनी, मेरे दर आई कैसी सजी धजी, देखो मेरे पिया की सारी जिया से बारी, मेरे अंगना में देखो आज खिला है चाँद। गे बाजे धुन झम झम झमाके झा, तो नाच मन झम झम झमाके झा। पिंगा गपोरी पिंगा गपोरी पिंगा गपोरी पिंगा, पिंगा गपोरी पिंगा गपोरी पिंगा गपोरी पिंगा।
You're watching Medfield TV, community shows.